Greetings, everyone. How are you? My name is Carmen Taylor Jones, and I am your Civic Engagement Manager for Black Women for Wellness. I am so happy and excited that we are now facilitating this amazing campaign, Black Women and COVID, a Moment in Time. Tonight, we're going to interview one of our doctors who is going to give us some information about herself, the work that she does, and she is one of our grief. Okay, we're going to do that over again. Opara. Good evening, one more time. Good evening, everyone. My name is Carmen Taylor Jones, and I'm so pleased to be with you as your facilitator for this evening's interview with Dr. Rhonda Brinkley Kennedy. Dr. Kennedy is here to talk with us about our grief and our end time issues that we are experiencing during COVID. We're going to have this moment with and I'm going to start again. I'm not going to do an intro. Good evening. My name is Carmen Taylor Jones, and it is my pleasure and my honor to be with you this evening. We're going to be talking with Dr. Rhonda Brinkley Kennedy of the South Central Training Consortium. Dr. Brinkley Kennedy, we thank you for being with us this evening. I would ask you to introduce yourself.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me here. I'm Dr. Brinkley Kennedy, Dr. Kennedy usually, and I am the CEO and founder of the South Central Training Consortium, as mentioned, and I founded it about 30 years ago to serve residents in South Los Angeles primarily.
Thank you.
You'd like to hear more about the consortium?
So we are embarking on this amazing campaign, Black Women and COVID, a Moment in Time, which we are exploring and investigating how COVID has affected Black women. Of course, I am sharing with all of our guests that the narrative that the world has forecast about Black women is that we are not going to do well, that we do not have what it takes to recover because of a plethora of issues. And so we're going to have some dialogue with women as we go along this journey to really see and check in with Black women to see how we're really doing. So let me ask you, Dr. Brinkley Kennedy, how has COVID affected you?
Well, it's been a year now, right? Actually, this week, and we've had a pretty good year. Good when I say good for me, I figured how blessed I am. This year has pointed out that I lived a pretty blessed life. I'm healthy, I'm still here. My husband is healthy. This year celebrates our 30th year. We figured out we still like each other, We had to stay in the house for this whole year together. And we found out that we really enjoy each other still. And so we have been pretty blessed to be healthy. My parents are still healthy. His parents are healthy. We brought a grandbaby, our first grandbaby into the world this year. So those are pretty nice blessings given all the devastation that we've been living through, right? So personally, I'm a blessed woman, right? We work with so many women and families who have not experienced that kind of blessing. They've really experienced a lot of devastation, a lot of grief. The work that I do is working with grief. And so, of course, in comparison, I can see, obviously, that I lived a pretty blessed life, and I'm very thankful for that.
All right, thank you for that. And so the next question is, tell me, how has COVID affected the work that you do over at the consortium?
It has been, we work with women who are struggling with homelessness. We work with domestic violence. Women are struggling with domestic violence. As you know, this year, domestic violence has increased. COVID has caused domestic violence to kind of go underground because people couldn't go out of their homes, which kind of increased the tension in homes. So we see a lot of increase with domestic violence, child abuse. So on one hand, we've seen this tension rise. The work that we do with our interns, their workload has risen. Um, but with the telehealth, it has allowed us to actually provide more services. So although we don't want to have to do more services, the fact that there is telehealth, we've been able to spread our services out and reach more women who would not have been able to um, come in for services because everyone's locked down, right? So the telehealth has provided more services. There's been more demand for our services, which is great. It tells us that people of color, Black women in particular, are reaching out for mental health services. So this has really been a good thing, that people are coming
Okay.
forward with that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm loving it. And my last question, tell me what, in your opinion, is the best defense that Black women have to survive and to recover from this disease, from this pandemic?
Black women are survivors by nature. We've been surviving for a long time, as you and I were talking about earlier. One thing I would say, what this has taught me is our health, our mental health, and our physical health. We have to stay strong, making sure we're taking care of our bodies and taking care of our minds. So I would say that would be key, and to continue with our support systems, our sister circles, our ways to connect with one another, using our resources, and making sure that the village stays strong, would be great
Okay.
defenses, right?
When you say make sure that the village stays strong, I was on
Yes.
a Zoom call the other evening, and there were 59 Black women on that call on a Monday evening at 7 o'clock. And every last one of us had something else that we could have been doing, but we were all on that call talking about the same thing, talking about how do we band together, talking about unify, and how do we make sure providing
Yes.
the holes and the gaps that some of our sisters need to survive.
Hmm. Hmm.
There was a young lady who actually she is already into the political field, and she had become target of some really racist pushback. And you should have heard um, uh, all of the notes and the words of encouragement that were given to this young lady. And it was like, girl, we got your back. Take my phone number, call me if you need to, but I've been through the same thing and you will survive. And so
Yes.
I am so honored and so pleased once again to have had these few moments with you. You guys, we are going to have several more moments during this campaign time of until we get to November to come back and to talk with Dr. Rhonda Brinkley Kennedy. And some of you may need her services. So, Dr. Kennedy, before we leave, if you would so kindly give us how our audience can contact you.
Actually, the best way is to Google us, the South Central Training Consortium, and join us on our website, the South Central Training Consortium. It's actually the best way to grab us.
Okay. And this, as I said, this interview will be parked on the website, and there will be a link to your
Yes.
website that will be included right there with this recorded message. So once again, Doctor, I thank you for being here with me this evening. Thank you for the words of encouragement. I know that you have even encouraged me because everything that you said was positive. You said that you and your husband had discovered that you actually do have that love that, so many people hope for, and sometimes it has to be tested by the waters, and you guys survive that. You even saw positivity in the work that you do because were more women that were seeking out your services, and that's always a good thing. And certainly your words that talked about the resiliency of Black women historically. So I thank you so much for taking these film moments with me, and we will be back to talk with you again. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.